Om Shanti. Today is Tuesday, the 31st of October 2023. On this Tuesday morning, let us listen to the Sakar Murli from our beloved Bap Dada. Bap Dada Madhuban. Essence. Sweet children, from being worshippers, you are now becoming worthy of worship. From being beggars, you are becoming princess. Therefore, you should be dancing and jumping with joy. You must never cry. Let us hear once again what Baba says in essence on this Tuesday morning. Baba says, sweet children, from being worshippers, you are now becoming worthy of worship. From being beggars, you are becoming princess. Therefore, you should be dancing and jumping with joy. You must never cry. Today's question: in order to make Bharat wealthy, in what aspect does the Father make you equal to Himself by showering the imperishable jewels of knowledge on you? In answer, Baba says, children, just as I am Roop Basant, so I also make you Roop Basant. Imbibe the imperishable jewels of knowledge you have received and donate them through your mouths. It is by your making this great donation that Bharat will become wealthy. What should we do? We should imbibe the imperishable jewels of knowledge and donate them through our mouths. Baba says, just as you are claiming your inheritance from the Father, so you have to enable others to receive it in the same way. It is your duty to show the path to everyone and become those who bestow happiness. Today's song is On the Path of Justice. Om Shanti. Baba says this song applies to you children, and it also applies to the Congress party because they too endured difficulties and liberated Bharat from the British. Therefore, this song was composed in that happiness. What was the song? On the Path of Justice. Baba says they continue to celebrate in happiness, but no matter what they have accomplished, the old world has not changed. The world is as old as it was before. You children know that we are changing this world by following Srimat. They cannot be said to be following Srimat. Srimat only comes from the one God. You are now following the Father's most elevated Srimat. But those people have put Sri Krishna's name. You children now know that these are Shiv Baba's directions. What do we know now? Baba says you children now know that these are Sri Shiv Baba's directions. It does not seem right to call Krishna as Baba. These directions are from Shri Shiv Baba. What is Baba saying? These directions are from Shri Shiv Baba. They cannot be called the directions of Sri Krishna Baba. You are making this Bharat pure again. The land of Bharat is important because it is the birthplace of the unlimited Father. This is the birthplace of the Father of all the human beings of the whole world, the one who is the bestower of salvation for all. This is called the highest and the most elevated pilgrimage of all. There is no other pilgrimage place as elevated as this one. So, what is Baba telling us? There is no other pilgrimage place as elevated as this one. However, they have changed the name in the Gita. The residents of Bharat themselves don't know that Bharat is the birthplace of the unlimited Father. Although they celebrate Shivratri, they don't know who Shiva is, when he came, or what his name and form are. You have now come to know this. You show a white star in the picture of the Shivalingam so that people can clearly understand this is the form of the Supreme Soul. However, they do not know how they could worship him. They created a large form. In fact, he is a star. Baba was a jeweler. Who? Brahma Baba. Baba knows that there are gems called star ruby, fine star ruby, sapphire, etc. That is the most valuable one. It appeared in the newspaper that the largest star of all was stolen from a particular treasure. So, This Shivlingam is red with a white star in the center, a star light. It is very easy to explain this. A star is white. Souls seen in divine visions also appear to be white. What is Baba telling us? A star is white. Souls seen in divine visions also appear to be white. It is the same thing, but you just need to put a star. You don't need to write anything else. It will be very easy to explain. In any case, there is an explanation at the bottom. The kingdom of heaven is your birthright because it is given by our heavenly God, the Father. What is the explanation at the bottom? Baba says the kingdom of heaven is your birthright because it is given by our heavenly God, the Father. Therefore, you should put a starlight. Baba is now giving you directions, so you must do the work quickly. There are some gems in which a first-class star can be seen. They have great value here, whereas in the golden age, these things have no value. Jewels there are considered to be stones. They are fixed to the palace walls. So, what is the difference that Baba is telling us between the jewels there and here? Baba says Baba is now giving you directions, so you must do the work quickly. There are some gems in which a first-class star can be seen. They have great value here, whereas in the golden age, these things have no value. Jewels there, meaning in the golden age, are considered to be stones. They are fixed to the palace walls. This world is now changing. You children know that you are now studying in order to claim your inheritance of becoming the masters of heaven from the Father. The more you study, the more elevated status you will claim. The more you study, the more elevated a status you will claim. You have to study and also teach others. That is, you have to make others similar to yourselves. Only then will you be able to claim a high status. Baba says, you children know that you are Brahmins and that you have to teach others this true pilgrimage. You have to give everyone the Father's introduction. No human being knows the Father. There is only the one Father. Everyone else has received their own individual parts. Baba says the part of one soul cannot be the same as another's. The part of one soul cannot be the same as another's. Souls are imperishable and there cannot be any difference in their forms. Everyone's body is different and there is a difference in the part of each soul. Each soul, which is like a starlight, is filled with an imperishable part. It is an imperishable part. Only you understand these aspects, number-wise, according to the efforts. So, what are two important sentences which Baba is telling us here? Souls are imperishable and there cannot be any difference in their forms. However, everyone's body is different and there is a difference in the part of each soul. So, each soul, which is like a starlight, is filled with an imperishable part. Baba says only you understand these aspects. That too, number-wise, according to your efforts. As for this soul, it has been praised as being a unique star sparkling in the center of the forehead. It is amazing, is it not? It is such a tiny star and it is filled with a part of 84 births. When you people hear these things, they will give you many thanks and say, it is truly the Supreme Soul who is teaching them. You have to teach everyone. Although Christians only know English, you can speak in Hindi and an interpreter can translate it into English simultaneously. So, what is Baba telling us how to spread the Gyan for Christians? Baba says although Christians only know English, you can speak in Hindi and an interpreter can translate it into English simultaneously. They will have their own interpreters. You have to give the Father's introduction. Just as the Father is the bestower of happiness and the remover of sorrow, so you children also have to become the same. You have to show the path to each and every one. It is the duty of you children to make others happy. Since you yourselves are claiming such a huge inheritance from the Father, you also have to enable others to claim it. This is the greatest donation. So, what is the greatest donation that we are doing? Baba says, since we are claiming a huge inheritance from the Father, we also have to enable others to claim it. Each version is worth hundreds of thousands of rupees. If the versions in the scriptures are worth hundreds of thousands of rupees, why is Bharat so poverty stricken? Therefore, you children have to explain to others and introduce the Father as the Supreme Soul. He is Roop as well as Basant, meaning the embodiment of Yoga and the one who showers knowledge. Roop means embodiment of Yoga and Basant means the one who showers knowledge. But how can he shower these imperishable jewels of knowledge? He definitely needs a body. Therefore, the Father comes and makes you children, that is, you souls, Roop Basant. You have to imbibe these imperishable jewels of knowledge. Donate them through your lips. No one can place a value on such jewels. There is a story about this as well. So, you should imbibe this. Baba says, people pray to Shiv Baba and say, Innocent Lord, fill everyone's apron with jewels. You have to fill your aprons with these imperishable jewels of knowledge. Then, when you are there, the walls of your palaces will be embedded with diamonds and jewels. Therefore, you have to explain this to each and every one. The land of Nirvana, that is, the land of liberation, is the place where the Father resides. They say of Buddha, etc., that they went beyond or that they went to Nirvana. That is everyone's home. That is the Father's home too. The Father has now come to take everyone back home. He is giving you limitless wealth. So, if you don't give the Father's introduction, who would? The Father says, when someone says, I am a Christian or I am such and such, all of those are bodily religions. You have to renounce all of those and remember me, your Father, the one whom you have been remembering on the path of devotion. Baba says, it is said, your final thoughts will lead you to your destination. It is mentioned in the Granth too, that if you remember your wife at the end, that will be your destination. Now, you cannot become a cockerel or something like that, but everyone does take rebirth. Here, the Father says, be soul conscious and remember me. You have forgotten your Father and your home. So, what have we forgotten? Baba says, you have forgotten your Father and your home. The play is now about to end and it will then have to repeat. Those of Islam, the Buddhists and the Christians have all been repeating their parts. This drama has repeated innumerable times. There is no beginning or end to it. There is a beginning and an end of this drama, but it continues to repeat automatically. So what is Baba telling us? This drama has repeated innumerable times. There is no beginning or end to it. There is a beginning and an end to this drama, but it continues to repeat automatically. Those who have understood these aspects should tell others to come and know the Father. Because of not knowing the Father, people have become orphans. Now imagine if the Pope said, do not fight. Would they accept that? The Pope is the head of the Christians. He is their Guru. So, why do they not follow their Guru's directions? Those people are not likely to accept anything said by anyone. The Father comes and gives directions, and so you have to explain this to others. Gradually, people of all religions will come to understand this. At first, there were just a few of you Sindhis, and many have now started to come. You should even give the Father's introduction to the Christians so that they too can claim a right to the Father's inheritance. You must not get tired doing this. So Baba is predominantly hinting today at explaining this knowledge to Christians. Baba says these exhibitions must continue with full force. There is a great responsibility for service. on the serviceable children. They are the ones who will be seated on the heart throne and then be seated on physical thrones. You have to become great donors and remember the Father. People insure themselves for their next birth. They donate in the name of God or in the name of Sri Krishna. In fact, Baba says Krishna was already wealthy. He had already received the donation. He had claimed his inheritance from the Father. Since he became the Prince of Heaven, he must have claimed his inheritance from the one who established heaven. Nevertheless, how he claimed it did not enter anyone's intellect. It is the Father who gave Sri Krishna his inheritance. So who gave Sri Krishna his inheritance? The Father. An inheritance is also known as a donation. People donate their daughter. That is when she marries. Baba says people donate their daughter when she marries. The Father says, I have now come to give you the donation of the imperishable jewels of knowledge. And so, arrangements have to be made for this. Even if it does incur expenditure, there is no harm in that. Baba says some children have seen visions here. Abraham, Buddha and Christ, etc., all of those important souls come at the end. Surely they will hear this knowledge, only then could they claim their status. You children should be happy. The Christians have a lot of connection with Bharat. They took this kingdom and they are also giving the return of that. They have to take great care of Bharat, because if Bharat were to be attacked, all the money invested by them would be lost. They have given a lot of money to Bharat, and so all of their income from that would be lost. This is why they try to save Bharat in every possible way. They definitely need help. They also want a return. Therefore, they definitely have to look after Bharat. Baba knows that Bharat is poor, and he therefore inspires those abroad to help, and he also comes here to help. How is Baba helping us? Baba says Baba knows that Bharat is poor and he therefore inspires those abroad to help, and he also comes here to help. They are helping now and the Father gives help for the future. So a very good marquee should be erected and all the Christians should be invited. There are very good pictures which contain the whole knowledge. Day by day, the locks on their intellects will continue to open. You know that such a huge part is recorded in such a tiny soul. Scientists too will be wonderstruck by these things. Scientists understand that someone is inspiring them. Destruction will definitely take place. Baba says destruction will definitely take place. This is fixed in the drama. Baba says destruction has nothing to do with Shankar. They have just used his name. Natural calamities too will take place. They will be very happy when they hear these things. They will give you many thanks. Many foreigners will come. They will come to you while you sit at home, and so you must definitely donate to them. What kind of donation is Baba speaking of? Donation of knowledge. Baba says many foreigners will come. They will come to you while you sit at home, and so you must definitely donate to them. To us, all of them are poverty-stricken orphans. People of the whole world have become orphans because they do not have the introduction of the mother and father. You children are becoming the masters of the world, and so you should have the intoxication of doing service. Send them telegrams that say, "Come and learn how the Father has come to take all souls back home." Souls become happy that the play is now truly coming to an end, that Baba has come to take us back, and that we will then go to the land of happiness. For half a cycle as worshippers, we remembered the Father. We now have to become worthy of worship again. Therefore, you should be dancing and jumping with joy. What is Baba telling us? From worshippers, we are becoming worthy of worship again, so we should be dancing and jumping with joy. By not having happiness, you continue to weep. Those who weep lose out. Yes, if you shed tears of love while in remembrance of the Father who gives you happiness, they are like the beads of a garland. By following the Father's Srimat, you will become elevated. This Father also tells you to follow Shiv Baba's directions at every step. Which Father? Brahma Baba. Srimat is the most elevated of all directions. This is a very elevated study. Baba says when people go on pilgrimages, they have to face many difficulties. Previously, they used to go on foot. The government has now made it easy for them. Therefore, the Father says, follow Srimat at every step. If you climb carefully, you will taste the nectar of heaven. But if you fall, you will be totally crushed. You should take advice at every step. Write a letter to Shiv Baba through Brahma and the Brahma Kumaris, and you will truly then remember Shiv Baba. However, many children forget to write. One day, the lock on everyone's intellect will definitely open. You children should have a great deal of interest in doing service. You have to do a lot of service. This too is fixed in the drama. All the expenses will automatically be met. Everything will happen suddenly. So what is Baba explaining? The final stages of how everything will fall into place. Baba says all the expenses will automatically be met. Everything will happen suddenly. The Father says it is difficult for you to find even 3 feet of land. Nevertheless, you still made Bharat into heaven a cycle ago. Acha, a great deal has been explained to you, but it also has to be imbibed. When you eat rich food, it is difficult to digest it. Although many come to the exhibitions, none of them has the faith that the Father is the one who teaches you people Raj Yoga. First of all, inspire them to have this faith. You can explain that you are the Prajapita, Brahma Kumars and Kumaris, and that only the Supreme Father, the Supreme Soul, is the Creator. The inheritance can only be received from the Father. Until you become a child of the Father, you cannot receive your inheritance. So what should we explain? The Father is the one who gives the fruit to the devotees. There are so many Brahma Kumars and Brahma Kumaris. Prajapita Brahma is also called the Creator. Creation of the new world is now taking place. God speaks, I teach you Raj Yoga. Acha, to the sweetest, lucky stars, love, remembrance and good morning from the sun and the moon of knowledge. So, Baba is giving us the blessings in a very different way today. Baba says, to the sweetest, lucky stars, love, remembrance and good morning from the sun and the moon of knowledge. The spiritual father says namaste to the spiritual children. And we, the spiritual children, also say namaste to our spiritual father. Today's essence for dharana has 2 points. The first point, in order to sit on the Father's heart throne, take responsibility for service. You definitely have to become great donors. There is no harm if some expense is incurred in donating knowledge. Second point, this is a very steep ascent and you must therefore be very cautious. Continue to take Srimat at every step. Today's blessing, may your intellect have faith and be free from any worry by finishing all worries in the fire of love. Let's hear the blessing once again. May your intellect have faith and be free from any worry by finishing all worries in the fire of love. Baba explains, the children whose intellects have faith remain free from any worry in all situations. All of their worries have finished. The Father has lifted you off the pyre of worries and seated you on the heart throne. You had love for the Father, and on the basis of this love, all of your worries finished in this fire of love as though they didn't exist. No worries of the body, no wasteful worrying of the mind, and no worries of wealth. What will happen? You now know everything with the power of knowledge. Therefore, you have gone beyond all worries and your life has become free of any worries. Today's slogan: become so unshakable and immovable that no type of problem will be able to shake the foot of your intellect. Let's hear the slogan once again. Baba says, become so unshakable and immovable that no type of problem will be able to shake the foot of your intellect. Acha, Om Shanti.